We will discuss what is vibe coding, velocity coding. We will give you a landscape of AI coding agents, which is an ecosystem knowledge. I will also share what hiring managers are looking for in AI case studies. The length of the task AI can do is doubling every 7 months. If you know how to give commands, you can do coding. What is velocity coding? So this allows you to understand the code that your team has built and also improve it if there is a bug. So those are the tools available to you. You can pick one tool in each. And if you know those, I think you will be really good. People are using these AI prompts or vibe coding tools to build the first version of a lot of things. And I think that's why all the PMs should be doing vibe coding. Product managers make a lot of mistake is that they go and try to become engineers. I don't want you to stop there because landing your product skills is very important in these interviews also. You learn these tools and make sure they are written here because without that, your CV will not get passed. Mahesh, I have cracked a lot of PM interviews. I have been with all the big companies. I have worked in AI for the last 10 years. I have touched on every big company. So if you want to know about Meta, Microsoft, Google, or Amazon, I have worked them in all. That's, I think, my claim to fame. But beyond that, I have actually built and shipped AI products. I've been an engineer for first 10 years and first 15 years of my career and last 5 years product manager. So I do have an engineering muscle. So if you feel a little intimidated with me, it's coming from my engineering background. Generally, PMs are not as technical as I think I am. And just because I have been an engineer all along, but then became a product manager. By the way, I hated product managers because they got all the credits. They go to VP meetings, so I do all the code. But then I did the transition. I don't know, it's a mixed bag since then. This is the agenda. We will discuss what is vibe coding, velocity coding. We will give you a landscape of AI coding agents, which is an ecosystem knowledge. I will also share what hiring managers are looking for in AI case studies. And hopefully I can do a hands-on live case study with you. If you ended up in an interview and somebody says, hey, code this for me or vibe code this app for me, how that looks like and what you need to focus and what you need not to focus. I can give you that. And then I can give you tips on how to succeed in these interviews. Sounds like a plan? By the way, I'm supposed to teach a course on how to crack AIPM interviews. And I realized that I have given all the material of that in three sessions. So now I have a blank slate and I have to build a new course with new things. So that's the idea. You have to first empty your glass and then you can build new things. I will share that, what's coming next. But we have done these 3 sessions. This is the third one. First, we did how to create CVs, then how to build case studies, and now is the coding one. Okay. AI agents are able to handle more and more AI coding tasks. So we are in a world where AI can take on a lot of engineering or do coding. There was this report with this company, which I loved. It's Meta. They did research and they found out that, hey, on the left axis, you're seeing tasks that generally engineers do. So the idea is, can I find a fact on web? And if you look at it, this is on the left hand on the bottom x-axis, you're seeing the years. And it shows you that how, as these models are progressing, the task that you need to do or somebody needs to do in engineering is getting accomplished faster and faster. And if you look at it, this is like at 50% accuracy. Today, these models can run a task with 3 hours continuously. So if an engineer takes 3 hours or if a task requires 3 hours, you can give that task to the model and model will take 3 hours and finish that task. For an example, they did this task in 2 hours and 53 minutes. And the task is completely complex task, which an engineer or somebody who know coding needs to do. So that's one trend. The other trend is that you can actually see that how the length of the task AI can do is doubling every 7 months. That means more and more complex tasks it can take, and that's doubling every 6 or 7 months. This means that the cost of building things is going rapidly half every 7 months, right? So that's the idea. If that's the idea, then what can you do? Okay, that means AI agents can do coding If AI agents can do coding, then what is vibe or velocity coding? Then people like Lovable or people like Claude Code had figured this out, that models are smart and they have given tools to you or tools to everybody to now build coding with just knowing programming language English. So if you know English, if you know how to give commands, which all of you know, especially kids with people with parents, and I think my wife knows a lot of commands. Yesterday I didn't do dishes, so she was like, "Oh, you can't leave today without doing dishes." I have to do that in the morning. See, I was thinking like when I was doing the dishes, I was like, hey, is that like Bill Gates used to do, like, or somebody else used to do? Like, I'm like, this is my job. I'm going to teach an AI coding and all this like AGI things, and then here I am doing dishes. So, but if you know how to give commands, you can do coding. That's the idea. And then Andres Karapathy is a guy who writes a lot on Twitter. He also quoted this term called vibe coding, where he said that now instead of hiring engineers, I can just go on a platform or take any chatbot or an AI agent and actually talk to it. And when I talk to it, it can build things for me. For an example, I can just show you quickly. I think I can, right? Yeah. Let's say we want to build an app for this community. So I can just give and say, hey, build a app that shows our AIPM community dashboard, rank them as people who contributed most based on points. Also create a button where we can start mock interviews. Or you can keep giving more instructions. I will show you, give details. But the idea is that I can take a tool like this. This is Google AI Studio. Why Google AI Studio? I will talk about that in a second. But I can give a command like that. And now it goes ahead and start building stuff for me. It doesn't ask me anything. It's going as an engineer and it started writing code. And in a second, you will see a web app that you can publish. So in 5 to 7 minutes, you can build a website that you can publish. And that I think we take a lot of things for granted. But one of my friend was telling me all this would have been like 10 years ago, would be a magic that came from like that would have mesmerized the world as if teleporting. But now we take it for granted. And in a second, you will see that we can come back to this. But the idea is that you will see this dashboard come up and then you can iterate with it. As you see it, you can improve it. And that's pretty much the idea of vibe coding. There are tools which can allow you to vibe code. If you did our cohort, we did use a lot of these. We used V0 Dev, we used AI Studio, we have used Lovable. All these are the tools which allow you to write this. So right now it's ready. And here is our AI hub. Allow this app to request access to microphone because it thought that we have to, let's say, allow. So now it will access my microphone, but these are the points. And then here is people, Sarah is top, Alex, and it can create images also if you want to, but that's ranking. And then I got the dashboard of Sarah, Alex, and all. And then I can continue going for mock interviews, connect to interviewer. Good. You can start building apps like this. That's the idea of vibe coding. Okay, you understood vibe coding. Then recently, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I started seeing this new term. It's called vibe coding is cool. Vibe coding is for newcomers. Vibe coding is if you're building it from scratch. Then what is velocity coding? The velocity coding idea is that, hey, you know what? You can go and understand or increase your productivity if there is already existing code. Let me show that with an example. So I went to this GitHub repo because somebody contacted me. They said, hey, Mahesh, I have an interview tomorrow and they are asking me about agentic architectures. So I sent them this GitHub repo, but they don't know anything. So I said, this is a GitHub repo where somebody has posted all the ways agent can do work. So it has multi-agent labs, it has mental loops, it has reflection labs, it has reason and act lab. So it has a lot of labs, but I don't know what it has, or if you got this, then you don't have, if you got this file, then what you could do is you can put it in something like a VS Code. So I cloned this. So now I can see all these labs here, reflection. And now I can ask agent questions or modify this even if I have not written the code. So I ask the question like, hey, what is this lab doing? Explain as to a 5-year-old, or in modern terms, a PM. Modern terms, a PM. Okay. So this is the code. I don't understand the code. And it explains me. Imagine you are drawing a picture. First, you draw it quickly without thinking too hard. Your mom looks at it and says, hey, this looks funny. Trees don't have purple trunks. So you erase and draw it again, better this time. That's what it teaches to compare to do. Make something, check it's good, and then fix it, it's better. For product managers, it is this. Okay. Then you can also say, now, let's say somebody said, hey, can you improve this lab? Let's say now you are a developer or you need to do this demo and you want to improve this. So you can also improve it. You can say, hey, find some gaps, find gaps in this lab, especially to make it more intuitive. So you don't know the gaps, you just don't know the code. You just ask them, and now they're going to do the work. It says it doesn't have a visual diagram, it doesn't have this, it doesn't have this. Then you can say, okay, great. Can you add these to this code? So this allows you to understand the code that your team has built and also improve it if there is a bug. That's velocity coding. The idea is that you now, as developers or as people who are just learning to code, you can understand an existing code base like this and improve it. Or whatever you are trying to do, you can do it faster because you can write test cases, you can go and check things. So that's the idea of velocity coding. Okay. So now two type of coding that became possible: vibe coding and velocity coding. Okay, I gave some examples. I think Sachin shot some videos, but I think these were better ones. So we know that we have now, if you wanted to do something earlier, you wanted to do it on x-axis, you have what can you do in with languages or what can you build and time it takes. If you want to know coding in C, C Sharp, Java, or Python, then you can accomplish pretty much everything these days. But with velocity coding, you can achieve half of it. And vibe coding, you can achieve a little less, but it takes very less time, right? So you should think about this as if you know Python or C Sharp or Java. They're not going away. The possibilities are much higher. If you know velocity coding, if you can build it inside the cursor or VS Code, then you can do much more than what you could just do with vibe coding. Okay? Then what are the tools? So these are the tools. Have you seen them? Lovable, V0, Google AI Studio, Replit, Bolt. These are the vibe coding tools. GitHub Copilot, Codex, Anti-Gravity, Claude, and Cursor are the tools that allow you to do velocity coding or also understand existing code and improve it. Since you can do vibe coding and velocity coding also. And then you have heard about these things, which is nothing but no code, low code tools, which allow you to drag and drop and connect things. We did a lot of sessions on N8N and Langflow and Microsoft Copilot Studio. That's on our YouTube channel. You can see them. This allows you to build different agents and connect them or create workflows. So those are the tools available to you. You can pick one tool in each. And if you know those, I think you will be really good. Right? Really good means you are ready for the new world of AI. You need not to learn all of them. You can pick any. I like Google AI Studio here just because it's kind of gives you a lot of free credits and doesn't ask you to pay every day or doesn't have limits. So I use Google AI Studio. I've used Lovable V0 before, but now I'm stuck to Google AI Studio. Here I like Cursor just because I started there. And here I like N8N and Microsoft Copilot Studio just because they have a lot of features and a lot of support on internet. Unless I'm not taking questions right now, but we'll take questions later. Okay, why even worry about vibe coding for PMs? Okay, coding is not your job. Why even think about coding? Why should you worry? You should worry because one thing I want to let you know is that there was always, at least if you're working in tech or want to work in tech, that unsaid expectation is that the PM needs to be technical. Sundar Pichai used to review all the PRs when he was the PM on Chrome. People take Sundar and we think that he was the ideal product manager because he ended up becoming a CEO. He was the ideal product manager, but he was ideal in the sense that he also understood the technical side of things. But more important thing today is that I was watching this video. This is Satya. Satya built this app using vibe coding himself. And he did this demo in India, I believe, where he showed multiple way of thinking. And then he said, okay, I built this app. Let me show you. This is how exciting it is. And if you are a PM, you have learned if you want to succeed in your career, you should know at least more than your managers, your VPs, your CEOs. And your VPs and CEOs know how to vibe code at least. So people who you are interviewing or who are talking to you know how to vibe code. And obviously, this is like top 5% tech companies. But I think that trend is becoming very, very normal that people are using these AI prompts or vibe coding tools to build the first version of a lot of things. And that I think is the main reason. Oh, I played the video. Sorry, sir. He built it on Thanksgiving weekend, he's saying. I don't know. I can build it on over the Thanksgiving, but maybe. But what can you do? Okay, you need to know it because you want to be technical and because your managers or the people who you report to or people who are running the org know this. And if you don't know it, there is a gap. But I think more important is what can you do if you know vibe coding or velocity coding or you know how to build basic agents. You can do a lot of prototyping. You can build mocks. You can build one pagers which show your company details to customers, and you can understand code that is already written in your company. If one day there is a bug and nobody shows up, or somebody's asking you 10 days to fix a bug, at least you can see the complexity of that. That was not possible before, and it's super easy now. And that I think is a super agency that all the PMs should have. Another thing that I have used my skills on coding, or I have trained a lot of PMs on that, is that when you build these AI based products, the challenge would be that by the time you get a finished app, it will be 2 to 3 months. But the code you can test in collabs or the labs. You can just ask your engineers to give you a collab, which is a Python based browser thing. And if they give you, then you can quickly test it with customers' input and output. It may not be the fancy UI, but you can give them feedback faster. That means if I am working with you as a developer, you can get me feedback faster before I have polished the UX and before I have connected everything. And you don't wait for that. That means I want to work with you more than I want to work with people who are just waiting 3 months and then telling us it's not worth it, the customer, and then go back. So you can ship much faster if you can build these. And of course, if you can understand the code, if you can understand a little bit more about engineering side of these things, then you can do better projections, better timing, you can set expectations better. And I think that's why all the PMs should be doing vibe coding. Okay, then let's do a quick lab on maybe you show up one day. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody and they said that, hey, you know what? This company gave me this case study. I wrote all the 20 slides. I think it was Prabhat. And I wrote 20 slides. I gave the presentation. In the end, they said, hey, it would be great if you can create mocks for this. And I was like, okay, let me just do the mocks right away. Let me show you how you can do that. So imagine somebody gave you this problem. This is my favorite problem that people don't understand contracts. Customers sign 70% of customers sign contracts without knowing what's in them. 69% of even small businesses don't know what they have signed. And 13s were horrified what they learn once after they sign. I know a company which signed a contract with Oracle, and then Oracle came and sued them because what they signed they didn't know, and the company was gone. This was a Series A company, and they made them bankrupt just because they didn't understood what is in the contract. So people sign contracts left and right. And let's say you are supposed to solve that problem using AI agents or without using AI agents. And your idea is that, hey, you know what? I will build an AI agent that can integrate to your email, or you can upload your contract and I can tell you what are the risks before you sign it. Because everybody may not have access to lawyers, or they don't have time to get to a lawyer. So they want to run a quick check, and you are building that app. Okay. If you're building that app, and let's say you have is 20 minutes, then here is your case study. The first thing first, what you can do is you can say who is the user. When you're doing these case studies, what I have seen product managers make a lot of mistake is that they go and try to become engineers. You have to keep your product hat on all the time. So just talk, like, maybe you need not to spend that much time, but I would step like 5 minutes in just explaining. I will say, hey, our users are in-house lawyers or people who don't know how to understand contracts. And then you say, I'm going to give you a narrow scoped version where they will upload a contract and I can tell you what is written in the contract in plain English across key terms. Okay, this is my MVP requirement. And then I say, okay, let's build it. And then that's my first prompt. I write a prompt like, hey, build a tiny demo cloud lens that help in-house lawyers quickly extract key terms from contracts. Create a single page app where user paste a contract text or can upload in PDF and docs. Extract these 5 clauses, show results in a table like this. And then I give examples, and then I put some guardrails. If you did our course, you know that this is the format we follow: role, goal, instructions, and guardrails. And I created this prompt. Then what I did is I went to this tool called Google AI Studio, which we just used to create this other awesome stuff. And I went here, I pasted it here. You see it on the left-hand side. I gave it this instruction. And you know what it did? It went all the way and it has created this contract thing for me. But you don't want to stop there. You want to say, you want to say, and say, Gemini Flash ran for 8 seconds, thought sevens, let her enhance. I'm just trying to see how can I go to that stage again because I don't want to run it. Previous prompt, okay, previous prompt, reset the conversation. Let's do it. Maybe we can do it. I have some time today. So what I did is you can go in and start a new AI studio. So you can use any of your favorite tools, Lovable or all, and paste this. And what it will do is it will go and build it for you. It will go to build the first version of this where you can upload a contract and it will extract the key terms for you. But I don't want you to, while it's built, I want you to take you to the next stage. I don't want you to stop there because landing your product skills is very important in these interviews also. So first, you just write this prompt and you say, okay, let's just build it. You will get an output like hopefully something like this, where you can upload a PDF and get the terms. Great. Then you say, you know what? AI products are not that great unless users can verify their work. Here you are uploading a contract, but I give you key terms. But the fun would be if I can find where in the contract I got this. So let me improve this. So you build something very specific, but then you add a validation step. Then you allow user to edit the clause. If they didn't get it, they want to edit the clause, they can do it. And you start showing reasoning, which is bringing transparency in AI systems. So you talk about and show your AI skills by your second prompt, where you go and say, hey, add a edit button, add a button which allows you to explain the clauses and maybe put citations also, right? So now I will improve this prompt, and my first version would be like this, where I can just go and upload a contract text, and then I can show you here. So I can go in. Oh, I stopped sharing? Just give me 1 second. Let's get back to sharing, because without that, you can't see it really. Okay. We are not interested in mock interviews anymore. We are interested in, so you can have something like this, where you can upload a PDF or a text. So I can upload a contract now. I just build this app and I can build a contract. I can put a contract Let's find this one. Master service agreement. I put a contract and it extracts and it give me key terms. But that's fun. It's analyzing that contract and it will give you key terms. But then you improve it with the second prompt by saying, hey, I just don't want extract clauses. So first it goes and try to decode that PDF into text, and then it gives me what are the important things in the contract. And I can build all this in just like 10 minutes here. And that's the kind of capabilities you have. So I got the clauses. It has these terms, it has the payment terms, the termination, the liability, the indemnity, all these are here. But then you want to show your skills of, hey, you know what? I'm an awesome PM. So let me show you how can you go and do more things here. So then I asked it to go and add a button called edit. So now I can edit. And when the user edit, I can take feedback that, hey, we didn't do a good job. And maybe this was the kind of explanation or language they wanted to see. And then I also added another action, which is the action of explanation that, hey, how I got it. This is found in section 6.2 regarding invoice cycles and payment deadlines. This is where I got it from. So I have a citation and explanation also. So you are not just building the product, you are building the product which your customer will love and give you feedback that you can continuously learn from. But that's not your job. Your job is to create impact. So then you can show in the third prompt, you can just, so in the third prompt, I can say, hey, you can show more product sense by saying, hey, you need to build this app where there are events like number of contracts uploaded, term extracted, export triggers, edits made. And I start with two metrics, time saved per contract review and accuracy of extracted terms. I'm adding these metrics also and this observability in my app. And just to show that I'm a responsible AIPM, I'm adding a disclaimer also. So now I add these three things, and this is my instructions. I give it to my agent. On the left-hand side, I go and give it. While it build it, I will show you because I already built it. So now I can go and send it, and now it will start improving my current agent. And now I will get a button like this, which is impact analysis. And it says that, hey, validation accuracy is 10%. We have this house lens has saved your team approximately right now 0 hours. And now you can also have a track index also as PMs. So you're not just building the apps, because building apps is everybody's job. You're building an app that people will love and has AI specific things, which is people can give you feedback, people can see the transparency, the citations and all. And also you're building dashboards which show you impact. So that could be the best way of building these case studies as PMs. Your job is not only show that you know these tools and can actually build apps. Your job is to show that you build apps with user first approach, with covering the drawbacks of AI, which is it's not transparent, it's hard to validate, and we know that human needs to be in loop. So how can you bring that user experience inside? And then also worry about the business side of it by putting the dashboards. So that's one way I do my case studies, or I expect people who at least belong to this community to do their work or do these case studies. Okay, then you did the case study. What was people actually looking for? What are hiring managers looking for when they ask you to write these things or do these case studies? They are looking for, do you even understand what are the coding agents? What is the ecosystem? Which one to use? Where they fail? Do you understand, or have you tried these things or not? Why is that important? Because we want you to use them when you come to the job, because your peers are using these tools. And if you don't know them, maybe we have to train you, and we don't want to train anybody these days. So we think you should know these. Can you create mocks? Can you create dashboards? Because right now, PMs are not going to the UX team or somebody. They can create their dashboards and mocks themselves. At least the first version of mocks or a prototype, we expect the PMs to create going forward. And then obviously, We want them to see, understand the limitation of these, and they should know when to ask for help and when not to ask for help. What matters in these interviews? What matters is, are you articulating your skills of prompts? Do you know how to prompt these AI tools? What matters is, are you showing your product skills, your product thinking, your product sense in these interviews as well? Because these interviews are no different than your normal interviews. We are judging you for PM skills, but this becomes the drawing board. Or we used to give you this document, right, to put your ideas. This is the new document, or this is the new docs. We're looking for strong fundamentals, UX choices. Are you putting feedback loops? How easy to evaluate your products? Are you landing those things? What doesn't matter? Ability, ability to debug or troubleshoot these things doesn't matter that much. If you don't know how to debug your app, you're fine. If somebody else code is there and you are failing to debug it, that's fine. I pass those. I'm not setting that bar high for you, but I want you to at least show me these skills on my left. And people talk a lot about production scale, security, resource-based access control, and all those things. They are developers. I don't judge people on that. I don't even ask those questions. And if you don't know it, that's fine. So focus on using these tools and making sure you can articulate your PM skills in this new drawing board, which is AI vibe coded tools. Okay. How to succeed? Some tips. Again, present examples, show them like I was showing, create a very narrow something, take a big idea, create a narrow thing. Like I took, like I'm going to change how people review contracts and everything. But eventually I said, you upload a contract, I give you key terms. And then show me your product thinking and decision making. Make sure you are adding AI specific things like how easy to evaluate. Can you bring human in loop? Are you doing iterative improvements rather than building everything in one go? Because if you start building what I build in one go, it might fail a lot. But you keep adding, show me iterations, and be transparent about the limitations. Do not assume that with Vibe code, you can just build the whole universe or build the ATM machine or some very complex infra project. Know your limitations when you're going there. And one thing I will give you is that show these Vibe coded tools, but if you can show something that you build for your company and actually put it in production using either Microsoft Copilot Studio or Power Automate, that just builds so much confidence than building these just prototype apps. So make sure you have at least one example in your portfolio where you can say, actually, people are using it and you have built it at your company scale. Okay, I did this session again, but I will give you, once you do these, make sure your CV has, you have written all these things in a section in your CV. You should have a tool section in your CV and make sure you write all those things here. You say V0, you say AI Studio, you write cursor, you learn these tools and make sure they are written here, because without that, your CV will not get passed. And then as you build these things, make sure you just specify as star method, what is your PM skill? What is the ML concepts you learned by doing that vibe coding thing? And what's the domain expertise you are showing? So you should do all of these. Again, I'm Mahesh. This is my session. This is the form. If you want to take this form, then you will get notifications from all of us. We'll also add you to our Substack. We publish one good article every week, which brings you to this new world. And we will make sure that you will never miss a session from us.